On my 8th birthday party, my dad and I went to the local, let's call it S-Mart, Shop S-Mart, to buy my birthday present, a new, shiny, electric blue big kid bike. It was the early 90s, so the electric blue made sense at the time. When we got there, they told us to pull around to the storeroom to pick it up, and so we went inside, and it was this massive hangar, and immediately my eyes locked on this giant ream of bubble wrap. And a huge guy who worked there pointed to it and said, "See that wrap? I get to pop it all." I was like, well, now I know what I want to be when I grow up. Anyway, we got home, and I took my new present for a ride, started biking in circles in the driveway, round and round, faster and faster, until I realized that I was about to leave my driveway and go down the steep slope at the edge. I slammed on the brakes, but this being an S-Mart quality bike, they didn't work very well. And so my body landed, twisted in the yoga pose commonly known as 8-year-old caught in bike frame with handlebar poking his kidney. If you're not a yogi, that's a really, really advanced pose. As much as whenever I struggled to get out, the handlebar just poked deeper and deeper. And so I was screaming for help, help, help! But my parents were inside, assuming that I was just out happily playing with my new present. So it wasn't until dinner that someone finally came out looking for me. I survived, but I left with this really gnarly scar. So whenever I didn't want to do something in gym class, I would lift up my shirt and show the scar and start flailing, "Oh, my injury! It hurts so much!" Well, it hurts. My gym teacher, Mr. Kurowski, looked me up and down, and seeing no athletic potential whatsoever, sighed, "Fine, walk the mile," which I did. It took the full hour. On my 25th birthday, as a present to myself, I bought a new, shiny, dark blue adult bike. And does anyone here bike in the city? Are there any urban bikers? So you guys all know about our compact that we and the drivers have. The cyclists promise not to take our U-locks and bash in the drivers' windshields. And the drivers promise not to run us over in their 2-ton death machines. And we both get to be really self-righteous about bikers on the road. The one guy's like, yeah. Anyway, one day I was biking to work, and before I had a bike, my commute was the worst part of my day. I was just being crammed into this tiny train car with all of these depressed people coughing. But on my bike, the commute was the best part of my day. 25 minutes out in the sunlight, fresh air, exercise. And my joy was contagious. Whenever I saw a dour businessman in the middle of the street hailing a cab, I'd give him a high five. Make his day a little better. But this day, a car suddenly pulled in front of me, and I saw the brake lights go on. I slammed on my bike brakes as hard as I could, but I'm left-handed, so more pressure went to the front tire than the back tire. My bike stopped abruptly, but I didn't. I went flying through the air in an amazing triple axle jump with this great 45-degree spin. It was beautiful. Up until the landing, which was my right wrist, followed by the rest of my body. By the time I got up, the car that had cut me off was long gone, and I was kind of dazed. So I just got back on my bike and went to the office. As the adrenaline wore off and my wrist really started to hurt, I told my boss what had happened, and she said, "You need to go to the hospital now." So the building maintenance guy, Elvis, not that Elvis, drove me to the hospital, and they took an x-ray of my hand and they gave me some really, really good painkillers. Not quite Julia's mom's good, but they were pretty good. And I felt better enough that I changed the status of my Office Instant Messenger to, drugs. So I got to have another conversation with my boss about the appropriateness of this status at a company whose last director died of an overdose. But I couldn't do while I was injured, I couldn't do anything to exercise except run. And that's when I found out that if I pace myself, I actually really enjoy running. And so now I try to run about 20 miles every week. And here's the thing is, I only sprained my wrist. I didn't break a bone. But sometimes a sprain can be a lucky break.